EnterTalk Radio, you're in to all things music.
Welcome to Music Gear Talk. Discover the tech that inspires the pros and powers today's music industry.
You heard right. It's another Music Gear Talk, powered by the mighty EnterTalk Radio. Connect to all things music here at EnterTalk Radio. EnterTalk Media. I keep forgetting to say that. I'm the CEO of the company, and we did a changeover here at the beginning of the year, and we are kind of a combination of both. So we have TV, we have radio, print, or you're going to see some cool new things coming in the very near future. And with that said, we have cool people on board with us here today, and a very cool company that we have a personal relationship with gear here at the network. And I have Ray Tantzen from PreSonus. Did I say the last name right, Ray?
Yep, you nailed it.
Oh, good, good. I am known for butchering people's names. So just to let you know, if I get your name right the first time, we're good. So anyway, man,
fantastic.
Ray, we've known each other for a long time, man. I think I've had Johnny on a couple of times, and this is my first time to have you on the network, and I feel honored and privileged. Not that I don't feel honored and privileged to have Johnny on, but you are the man that drives a lot of the products there at PreSonus, and it's an important thing to find out where the buck stops, and definitely from product development. You are one of the keys to that whole thing. So appreciate you being on.
Yeah. I'm not quite as charismatic as Johnny, but I'm a little bit more technical, so I can talk product all day long.
Well, it's your dang fault that we are powered by mostly PreSonus gear here. I seen a video of yours, and I went to a clinic, and I'm like, okay, we got to have that stuff. That stuff right there, we got to have. I don't know why yet, but I know that that's the stuff that we have to have. So
nice.
What I'm referring to, folks, is if you're not aware, we've mentioned it in other shows, but we fell in love with the StudioLive series, and we used the RM32 AI here in the station to run all the station radio operations. So, I should say the endeavors of what you're hearing. So it's an amazing tool. It's got 32 channels of inputs, 16 channels of either mixed or bus. You can assign all that fun stuff. I'm gonna let Ray kind of delve into that a little bit later on. But I just wanted to qualify to you folks that we are huge supporters. We also have the AR series for our remote stuff. We have the audio box for a lot of our workstations as the audio tool. So we support PreSonus quite extensively here. So again, thank you, Ray, for making all this cool stuff.
Absolutely, man. And thanks for having me on the show. I'm excited.
Well, that's the end of the show. That's all people need to know, right?
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
Well, you know what, Ray? Our audience is very diverse, but like 99% of the people here listening in, because it's Music Gear Talk, are people who are passionate about gear, and quite often people who are players in the industry or business people and whatnot. A lot of those folks are, looking at this industry in how they can grow in this industry. And, you've obviously grown pretty well with PreSonus. Like I said, we go back with you guys. I don't know, we 2011 or 12. I can't remember when we've had PreSonus gear, for a while, but we really got jumped into it when we got the AI. But how did you get into this business? How did you find your way to product development, and tell us your story?
Sure. So it goes back. I kind of got into everything as a sound engineer. So I was living in Seattle at the time, and I was a studio engineer for a post-production studio there. And then after that was a freelance engineer. So I was doing everything from studio work and music work to live sound to location sound for films and TV commercials and things like that, sound design, the whole gamut. Actually made a living for a number of years, paying most of my bills doing audiobooks, producing audiobooks. But after a while of doing that, I was looking for a more stable income than freelance audio, and I started working at Mackie. Worked at Mackie for about 4 years, and then from there worked at Symmetrics up there in the Northwest for about a year.
Good stuff.
Then moved down to Southern California, and I worked for M Audio and Avid. I was in the Southern California office doing M Audio products for a while, and then moved up to the Daly City office. That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
With Hucky. Exactly. And then moved from the Southern California office to the Daly City office, where I was working on Avid stuff. Worked on the Avid venue profile mixers, worked on the Mbox interfaces and some Pro Tools stuff. And then I've been out here in Baton Rouge now with PreSonus for the last 5 years. It's really cool because I actually work with a lot of my former colleagues from Mackie and Avid. Have come out here just because the culture of the company here and the technology and stuff that we're working on is just really exciting. So it's attracted a lot of really great industry professionals. So happy to be here and doing that stuff. So I was brought on here as a product manager to work on mixers. And so that's what I do. I do digital mixers and networked systems. So the first products that I managed here were the AI rack mixers, like the one that you have, the RM16 and RM32. And then I did the Series 3 mixers and all of the accessories and networking stuff that goes along with those.
Well, it seems like you've been there longer than 5 years. I guess, we've kind of run into each other at all the different variables of companies that we've been at. So, but
for sure.
I feel like I've known you forever, man. So it's just 5 years, and I guess that was when we got it. We got it like the first month it came out, the AI. But I just remember seeing that video and you demonstrating it and all the things it can do, and I'm like, that's it, man. That's it's a cost-effective way to have a full multi-track, true multi-track, 32 channels of you can have more, but of recording. At the time I had a band, then the radio network took off, and the band had to take a back seat. But so I definitely, I was you've done your job well, so they should be proud of you there. And that's a good tale to tell, because people, if you're looking at getting into areas of the other parts of the industry, especially like manufacturers, doing that, paying your dues is what we heard there. So that's very cool. And when you got there, man, obviously you discovered the culture and the passion behind it. Share with us a little bit about that and your thoughts, because it's really cool. So I want everyone to know about it.
Yeah. So PreSonus, they're kind of an outlier in the industry, in that we're not located at one of the coastal areas in the U.S. Like in L.A. or Boston or New York or something like that. We're kind of tucked in to southern Louisiana here in Baton Rouge, just about an hour north of New Orleans. And there's just a unique culture here in southern Louisiana that is really felt in the company. It really is a foundation of family. We come to work and we're working with family, and we have big jambalaya cook-offs, and we actually go around to some of our we do trips to our dealers and we do and cook jambalaya. And that was the thing that I knew about PreSonus even before I worked here was PreSonus, they're the ones that come out and cook jambalaya for everybody. Oh, that'd be cool. And so now I get to do that. But they're just the people here are all really passionate about what we do. We have a saying here at the office. It's one of our little taglines. Music is our life. PreSonus is our day job. And that's kind of where we all come from. Most of the people in the company are in bands and play in bands during the week and on weekends, which is great, because that's how we test a lot of this stuff. Is we use ourselves as guinea pigs, and we have to go out and do things. So there's a lot of that, and just that culture of and melding pot of what you get here in Southern Louisiana, and then the technology side. Some of our engineering team and our executive team, being right here at LSU with all the tech programs and engineering programs that they have. We're able to really push the boundaries in technology with a lot of our products, and that's an exciting thing to do, and lets us push the envelope more and more with each product that we do.
Yeah, and that was what I understood exactly that philosophy: family, pushing the envelope, not following the status quo. From what I got from previous clinics and videos, and from talking to Johnny, that's what it's been about. Your founder really wanted to do something that was not on the if it's already been done, he didn't want to do it. So I think that was Jim Odom's
whole philosophy is, how can we take these complex concepts and technology and make them easy to use and accessible to just, a musician doesn't necessarily have a understanding of audio engineering on the deep technical side, right? So, how can we make this stuff so that artists and producers can deliver great content without having to go to school to figure out how to do something.
Yeah, and and you take that technology all the way down from the the highest levels of the gear that you have, all the way down to the stuff that is like the AR series that we have is perfect for our remotes. When we go out and do remotes, it has the ability to do some things that no other. Well, we do a thing called mix minus. I'm not to confuse the audience here, but basically, when we bring a call in, it can't feed back that to the mixer, and we're able to do that within the PreSonus mixers. And there's only a couple of them that are at that level that work. Or you have to go up to something like the RM32 AI, which we use for the studio. But that particular unit was really helpful with us. We've used a couple of the other ones, stuff that was made for it, and it didn't have the clarity. It didn't have the the presence that the AR mixer that we have. And so now we just pretty much through all of our mixing chains we use the PreSonus gear. So definitely, again, big kudos to you guys for being able to distill it down to that, like I said, that the mixer that we have is like $399 retail. So it's for us that's a beauty, because traditional radio mixers are going to be $1,000 plus. So it worked really well. So I give you guys kudos on that. And we've got about a minute and 45 seconds left here in this particular segment. We are going to be on for 2 segments. Let's give some of the URLs. I mean, obviously, I got the the main one here at www.presonus.com, and PreSonus, if you don't know, is spelled PRESONUS. And that's a .com after that. And if you go there, you'll be able to see a whole slew of gear. And we're going to jump into that in the second segment. What are the other URLs, social media? Do you guys use smoke signals? Do you throw jambalaya shrimp at people and they throw it back to you with a message? How does this all work?
Yeah, it's all encoded into Zydeco music
yes.
with washboards and accordions.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, we are on all the social media platforms under PreSonus, and that's on Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat. And I'm sure there's probably others that I'm too old to know about that we're on also, but you can find us all on those. We also have several groups on Facebook for PreSonus StudioLive mixer users and Series 3 mixer users, as well as for our DAW software, Studio One users, which is a great place to learn and about stuff, get some feedback from others, and just great communities of people and users. So.
Yeah, it's definitely easy to use Studio One, and it's feature rich, and we love the capture tool that kind of spun off of that for our when we do live multi-track recording, because it's so easy to use, and it just syncs right up into the RM32 AI. You've been listening to Music Gear Talk, folks, and we're going to be right back here in a few short minutes. I want to give a shout out to our core sponsor, Miss Pitbull Audio at pitbullaudio.com, and of course our good touring group, SIR at sir-usa.com. We'll be right back in a few short minutes.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. Come join me weekly on my journey through the music business as I take you behind the velvet rope, interviewing industry notables such as Al Di Meola, Michael McDonald, and Al Jarreau, to name but a few. Listen to their stories on being in the studios recording #1 hits and onto the stages throughout the globe. Allow me to be your music historian. You can hear me live every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com. Ready to get your groove on?
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on EnterTalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Make this your vinyl night. I'm John J.R. Robinson, and every week, music creation comes alive through stories, experiences, and sounds when vinyl records filled our hearts and minds. My friends and I share our tips and techniques used in creation of iconic tracks for recording artists such as Michael Jackson, Eric Clapton, Quincy Jones, and Steve Winwood, to name a few. Vinyl has emerged hot, and the soul of vinyl defines art and passion which burns deepest at night. Tune in every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on EnterTalkRadio.com.
Welcome to Music Gear Talk. Discover the tech that inspires the pros and powers today's music industry.
We are back, yo. This is Music Gear Talk with Florentino Buenaventura as the host for today. Actually, host all days, but every so often we'll bring in a guest, and we are talking with Ray Tantzen from PreSonus, senior product manager, developer, guru guy that just kind of makes things happen over there. And Ray's been telling us a little bit about his rise to that position over at PreSonus and some of the fun things. If you ever see PreSonus, ask them for the jambalaya. That's all I have to say.
We do print a Cajun recipe on the last page of all of our manuals, so there is jambalaya recipes out there.
That is awesome, man. Yeah, I had jambalaya at a little local brewing company here. It was a jambalaya pasta, not quite the same, I would imagine.
Oh yeah, the pastalaya. Yeah,
yeah, pastalaya. There we go. It was all right. It was good, but I got to make it down there. I got to make it over there. You guys got a freaking awesome studio over there. John Storick was telling me about it because he designed it, right? He designed the actual room.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he designed it. So it's a full recording studio, and it's an operational studio. We use it for company visits, but it's also used in the evenings and weekends. Bands come in, bands come in and use it. But yeah, it's a fully functioning studio, audio and video studio. We have 6 edit suites, a main control room, a large tracking room, 2 ISO booths, and a video broadcast room.
Oh man, that is awesome!
And it's pretty cool because it's right in the middle of the building, but it's all isolated from the rest of the building. So you can actually look into the studio from the offices and cubicles and stuff. But it's so sound isolated that you don't hear anything. It's fantastic.
That's incredible. And so you folks know, John Storick is pretty much the guy who wrote the book on studio design. He built Jimi Hendrix Electric Lady Studios way back in the day, before there was actually a real art form to it. They just put up a couple of sound panels before he actually designed that for Jimmy with Eddie Kramer, and he took that lifelong passion of studio design and went to PreSonus and built that around there. What's the list of gear? I mean, obviously there's probably a long list of gear, but what's the primary is it the RM32 AIs, or are you actually using the consoles, or what are you guys using over there?
Yeah, so in our studio, we're running the StudioLive Series 3 32-channel console mixer.
Nice.
So we have that as the centerpiece of the room, and then we have 4 racks full of our RC 500 and ADL 700 and ADL 600 preamps and channel strips. And then, so that's kind of the core. Then we go out to one of our Central Station Plus units for all the monitoring and TalkBack.
Yeah.
And then everything is wired into patch panels on the throughout the studio, and that's pretty much the gist of it. We primarily use that stuff. We do have some outboard gear. We've got some different stuff from Warm Audio. Some Pultex and LA2As, things like that for outboard gear. But I mean, these days we pretty much run everything in the box. We've got one of the Mac Pro trash cans that runs our Studio One DAW software. And so with the StudioLive Series 3 console, we're able to use that as the interface to the computer. And then we also are able to go into our DAW control mode of it and use it as a control surface for Studio One.
Yeah.
So it's pretty nice in the studio to have that workflow.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we do with how we've used it in the past for recording our bands, and then of course here in the studio. It's just, it's been completely, we'd be lost without it. So, well, let's, as we're talking about product here, NAMM was a few months ago, and obviously you guys killed it. We actually, we had a booth in the same little general area in the new area. How'd you like the new area?
Yeah, the new Hall A.
Yeah.
I dug it, man. It was nice. I mean, having the new hall, so it had that new hall smell.
It did, right?
It was a little away from everything. It felt like at first, but once the show started, you couldn't tell. I mean, it was just so busy and so much foot traffic coming through. It was fantastic. And I liked that it was mostly all pro audio brands, so we weren't competing with trying to be heard over the drum hall and things like that. So it was a little bit quieter.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely was. It's a lot of bands this year for whatever reason. They just thought this was the year for bands. They got away with that. But yeah, that's exactly what we thought. Except for, it took us a minute to find the bridge that goes over the top. we kept going downstairs, walking. It was like, really.
Oh yeah, then you got to go through those security lines again. It's like, no, thank you.
Yeah, just go over the top, and there we're good.
Yep.
So, what was the gear that you guys were focusing in on? Obviously, you got tons of gear. You've got the StudioLive series, whether consoles, racks. Mixers, you've got different variations of add-ons to all that fun stuff, control surfaces, software. I mean, you got tons of stuff that you guys do. What were like a handful of the things that you guys were featuring at the show or spotlight?
Yeah, so the big story of the show was kind of the adding to the StudioLive Series 3 ecosystem. So we've had the Series 3 console and rack mixers out, and now we have the EarMix 16M, which is a 16-channel personal monitor mixer that connects up with it over the AVB network. And we also have 2 stage boxes, the NSB 16.8 and 8.8, which again connect over the AVB network to just expand on the capabilities of what that ecosystem can do. We also were showing our Studio One DAW control mode for controlling the DAW with the console. And so that was on the mixers, your digital mixer side of things. We also had some new USB interfaces. So we debuted some of our new Studio Series interfaces. So we had the 1810 and the 1824, which are the larger I/O count USB interfaces. And we also had we didn't announce it at the show. We had announced it prior, but it was the first show that we had a fader port 16. So we had the original fader port, which is a single fader controller. Yeah. And then we had launched the fader port 8 about a year ago, which is 8 fader controller. And then, so now we also are now shipping the fader port 16, which is the 16 fader control surface.
Yeah, we have that. I was seeing that at Pitbull, where I believe we're starting to carry that right now over there. So that it's totally cool because I've had the fader port for years, going back to all the stuff that we've had, throughout the years of whether we're recording for our own band or we're doing the radio station, and the fact that you're able to now have that control surface, and they kind of that thought was died off a little bit, but I think you guys were able to bring it back, because one of the things I want to stress to the folks here is that a lot of people think of the mixing series as a live mixer, but really it's just a wonderful all-round mixer that does both recording exceptionally well at a price point that is remarkable, and as well as you take that on the road with you, and you've got your mixing system that you can control. Each individual can control their own monitoring system if they've got some type of iPhone. Do you guys work with Android yet? I couldn't remember because I rock.
Yeah, we do.
Okay,
we do.
Good.
Yeah, so all of our remote apps work on Android now.
Okay, good. So I figured you did, but I don't own Android, so I haven't paid that much attention. But yeah, it's been you guys thought of everything when it came down to providing that solution for bands or engineers or studios that want to be able to be remote as well as be in studio, or just even like you guys did, put it down into a studio. And with that said, obviously everyone was pretty ecstatic about it. What were some of the things that you were hearing from people? What were they telling you?
There was a big thing, basically just excitement over having the ecosystem around the StudioLive mixers. So, this is our third generation StudioLive mixer, and the digital mixer world has changed a lot since we introduced the very first StudioLive 1642.
Ray, I hate to interrupt you, brother. We got about a minute left, so I just wanted to kind of let cue you in on that. I didn't realize we've been going for 30 minutes already. It's been feels like 5. So
I know I can talk gear for days, man. I'll run on. The biggest takeaway really was just having the full ecosystem. Going beyond just the mixers. Now having all of the parts. The stage boxes, the personal monitor mixers, the control apps. All of that stuff to go along with it. So now you can build out a complete solution to fit your specific needs.
Perfect. Well, guys, you heard it here on Music Gear Talk. PreSonus, Ray Tantzen, thank you very much for joining us today. I know you got a hugely busy schedule. You've got more designs. Folks, I wish we could have dived deeper into it, but these are really kind of giving you a taste. Go to the website, PreSonus.com. Check it out. This has been Florentino. Thank you, folks, for tuning in. Make sure you go to Pitbull Audio and get your PreSonus gear now.
Yes. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
You know what's all around you every waking moment of your life? Marketing. You're choking on it. I'm Scott Robertson, and when it comes to strategic PR, branding, and marketing, I've seen it all. And actually, I'm still seeing it because bad marketing never sleeps. Join me each week on May the Best Brand Win, right here on EnterTalk Radio, and learn how to make the marketing for your brand unforgettable.
Hi, this is Tim Dolbear from Eclectica Studios. I'm a full-time mixing and recording engineer. I work with Grammy winners, labels, and indie artists, using state-of-the-art digital mixing and restoration tools and the very best in analog gear. Really, though, it's my ability to bring tracks to life and fulfill your vision for your music. This has made me sought after by producers and artists worldwide. So spend your time working on music and not chasing a mix down a rabbit hole. Go to timdolbear.com and check out our free one-song mix offer.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. Come join me weekly on my journey through the music business as I take you behind the velvet rope, interviewing industry notables such as Al DiMeola, Michael McDonald, and Al Jarreau, to name but a few. Listen to their stories on being in the studios recording #1 hits and onto the stages throughout the globe. Allow me to be your music historian. You can hear me live every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com. Ready to get your groove on?